Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for joining. Please don't forget to visit our website. We offer some online courses, and I offer one-on-one sessions for 3 weeks, and we have our live trading that covers Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, London or New York. We cover potential setups, some educational stuff, what we might be able to trade or not trade. Just 1 second, guys, the music is too loud. Perfect, sorry about that. So we cover our the live trading Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We go over setups, potential setups, what we're looking for, some educational, some educational stuff, our own way of looking at the market. I will explain it a bit more in our session as we move on in our weekly analysis. Then you will have access to the recordings that takes you up to more than a year, and we'll have access to weekly analysis of the dollar, euro, yen and pound pairs, including commodities, some cryptocurrency and some of the indices. We cover weekly, daily and the 4-hour. Let's have an example of the S&P, the 4-hour. We're expecting it was indicated that watch, and I've been saying it, if you go back to the thank you Michael, if you go back to the previous weekly sessions explaining expecting 3.5 to get a reaction, and that's what we had. Now I will go through it. We're expecting a reaction around these areas, either a bounce and new high, or it's going to give us a correction and continuation for the drop, which everybody is looking for, the crash. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways, so yeah, and we will have a dedicated chat that on Telegram where we can discuss and cover everything that we look for. Now let's head to our analysis. If you got any request, guys, please at the end I will go through the couple of pairs, and at the end of my analysis I can take your request to check any pair you would like me to check. Don't forget to press the like and share the button. Thank you so much. Now, as we always start with the DXY, at the end of the session, yes sir, at the end of the session, just leave your comment here. I will take request any pair, any chart you want me to check. For the DXY, as been saying from last week, we're expecting, it's in a downtrend, everybody knows that, but we're expecting a correction, a major correction. From my own point of view, I don't think we're gonna have that major correction at time being. We're gonna have one more low, which is the last leg of the higher time frame. One more low, taking out this low, then we're gonna have a major correction to this end. But overall, higher time frame, we're in a downtrend. But in every healthy trend, we need these small corrections, these small rests that we rest, and we continue the trend. But for the time being, for this week, I'm expecting take out this liquidity zone that's up here and a drop. I'll be looking to sell this one. If it continues heading up, I will let it go, unless I will start looking for buys or any other major corrections when it closes above this area. Meaning, when it breaks and does something like this around this area, I'll start looking for a buy. As long as we're underneath this area, we're looking for sells. So for this week, we're underneath this liquidity zone, we're looking for a sell. For the euro, the same thing. Expecting a fake out. There's an institutional setup right here. If you guys know what's an institutional setup, if you don't, hit me up. More than happy to explain it. So I'm looking for a buy around these areas. We might have a fake out to take out this liquidity. I will not sell it unless it closes underneath here. When it closes underneath here, same like the pound, I will explain it. So as long as if it closes underneath here, then we'll look for a sell. If it doesn't close, we're still looking for buys. Most of the retail traders are looking for sells. So you don't want to go with everyone. You want to collect the liquidity, right? So watch this and a fake out and continuation of the uptrend. The pound, if you go to the website, I indicated a close underneath here, we're looking for a sell, and we took this trade for the sell for this end. Now what are we expecting for what are we expecting for this week? I'm expecting a fake out, retest of this area, and a correction, retest of the zone. The pound is going to be weak till like November, October, if not more. A lot of people are looking for the buys. I don't suggest to look for a buy at the time being, because higher time frame, that's a full correction. So at least to continue the uptrend, we need a correction. 50% of this whole trend. So you might take this buy. Yes, it depends what kind of a trader you are, a day trader, a scalper, it all depends, but I'm expecting a drop on the DXY. So a drop on the DXY, this might give it a push till up here. So you want to trade this push, always trade the second leg on the lower time frame. What do I mean by the second leg? That's the structure, and that's the last structure that's right here. Let it go up into this structure and wait for the second leg and take your buy. Risk to reward is always good on the second leg. Don't anticipate what's the market gonna do. Do your analysis, put your probabilities, and execute on the best risk to reward that you got. USD CAD. There's two potentials here on the USD CAD, which I will let it go, but I'm aiming for this drop. One more taking down or making a double bottom, or taking down this low before any major correction of the trend, because right here we're having a full correction, then we got an impulse. We might do the following: retest the top here and then drop. So let's wait for the direction. If it does a retest of this area, we might take a sell. For this week, because the other CAD pairs, they're showing weakness. So let's see. I might not trade UCAD, and I suggest my premium guys not to take it, because there's two potentials. As I said, this can do the following and then drop, take out, retest of this area, or it can drop from here. So we will wait for better direction, better clarity from this pair. Swissy, we took this sell that was a full WX, which is right here. That was a full, and what we're expecting, one more down. If you go back 2 weeks ago, I explained it in details, what we're expecting, why we're expecting this, and how many ways we're expecting from every label. And it's going according to what we labeled and to the pip. So please go back to 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, watch the videos. For this week, what I'm expecting is the following: a retest of this area and one more drop, taking out this liquidity before any major correction. We might take this, or we might wait for it to come down, go back inside the zone and take the buy. It depends what kind of a trader you are, I repeat. So you trade on the 15, the 5 minute. If we're expecting a week the XY, you might take the sell. If you want to swing trade it, I suggest wait for the break of the low here, let it come down, reject, and take your buy. Expecting one more till up here, one more pump, break this top, and major correction to the downtrend for this whole trend. If you draw a line, everybody's seeing that around these areas, reject, one more up, that's been there for the past almost beginning of August, this gray box that's up here, and we're expecting it to hit up there before we start looking for any sells or change of direction of the DXY. You know, the market is all connected together, so you gotta know what to look for and how to look for and where to look for you to have clarity, and for you to be able to get a better views, right? To get the better probability. As I keep on telling my guys, in the market, in this business, you gotta know a strategy, right? That it worked from before with other people. You learn it, you adjust it to your lifestyle, right? You gotta do mistakes with it for you to be able to know the ins and the out of that strategy, okay? For you to be able to decide to open a trade or close a trade. It's time to close the trade. It's not going according to my strategy, and it's time to open and move stop loss to break even and let it run. So you gotta know your strategy. Analysis is something and strategy is something else. So if you're jumping from one strategy to the other and looking at this and looking at that, all strategies work. You just gotta know how to implement them according to your lifestyle, according to what you're looking for, right? Like how you want to day trade, you want to swing trade. There's different strategies out there. You just gotta perfect one and choose. Not every time it plays out you take it. You gotta be picky about your own strategy. You gotta be picky about it, right? So anyways, if you guys are having any hard time, Caesar, you're saying head and shoulders in which pair? Sorry, I wasn't checking the chat. Anyways, so yes, so master one strategy. Look for the ins and out of it, right? Like you should know when you do a mistake, you should learn from it, not depending on somebody else. A lot of people would ask me, why don't you give out signals? Because I want people to learn to how to fish, right? So you don't want me, like if I do a mistake, you're not gonna learn from it. I will know my own mistake, and everybody does mistakes. Anyways, for the Aussie, I'm expecting that's gonna be a correction, at least a retest of the top up here, if not a break, then taking this short. For the higher time frame, I was looking for it to reach up there, which I doubt it will, unless if something major is gonna happen with the indices and they're gonna break the top, which it doesn't showing that much. But I'm expecting the price to be up here. Will I take that buy? Aussie is looking weak. I don't suggest you look for buys. I suggest for it to trap a lot of traders, wait for it to reach up here, break the stop, then take your sell long term while the XY is correcting. For the silver, been saying silver, commodities, gold is an investment, so don't day trade that, right? And I don't suggest you sell these stuff, especially silver. Silver said that this can go up correctively, like this, drop, correct, drop, correct. I'm expecting long term hitting the last high, the $50 mark. But for the time being, what we're having, that would be a C over here. That's the liquidity area. So if we're looking for any buys, I would love to see price coming to my end. Yes, I will go over it, Caesar. I would love to see the price hitting that liquidity that's down here. There's a beautiful setup around this area, grabbing the liquidity that's down here and continuing for the uptrend. So for me to open a buy for silver, I would love to see that. I'm only looking for buys. You want to sell silver and gold, please go ahead, but I'm looking for buys. So that's the setup I'm looking for. Gold, there's no trade. Said it last week, no trade for the time being. Let it do its own thing. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna stay in this area for a while. This can do the following: come back down, go back up, then come back down. For me to open a buy, I'm looking for the 1850 or 1800, this area. There's specific reason why, it's indicated on our website. Please feel free to check it out. Oil, if that's the website indication, we were expecting a reaction in this area for continuation for the uptrend, but it broke it. So for the time being, I'm looking the price to head all the way down to the 32 zone. There's a way to measure why I'm expecting that and what to look for. So expecting a down move. So this can easily do the following: pump one more, retest this area, and drop for the 32 area. I will be selling. I will be looking for a sell. S&P, as I said it, indicated it, we're looking for a reaction in this zone. There might be a fake out, same thing as the DXY, a fake out and new high and new low on the DXY. They're connected. So we might take the buy here. Are we selling? No, we're not selling. We're only looking for buys for the time being. Maybe around the election time, the US election time, we might be selling. But for the time being, we're maintaining the zone. Don't FOMO and start looking for sells and you want to sell for you not to miss. It's not going anywhere at the time being. Yen pairs, said it last week, stay away from USD yen, and look what it did. Do you trade that? I don't think anybody would love to trade that. But what are we expecting? I said it, expecting a down move till this area. If it goes without me, let it go. Let it break structure, which is up here, then I will start looking for buys. But as long as we're underneath the structure, we're still in a sell mode. So you want to trade it. If there's a sell, take it, but I suggest stay away, leave it alone. Same thing as gold, leave them alone, these two pairs. This one I did a live session with one of my guys. He's been having hard time to identify our setups. So we're looking a reaction, one more down, taking out this liquidity, then doing a correction. This correction can turn into an impulse and create a new high. But watch this area, possible trade to take a buy on the second leg on the lower time frame. Across the board, the pound is all the same trade. Just watch it, some reaction. This last leg, it's gonna be fast. It will move fast. It will trigger a lot of emotions, psychological stuff. That's what trading is, and it will reverse. Crypto. See, if you are new to our channel or to us, how we look at the market, we look into legs, right? This leg with which leg it goes. So at the time being, I'm looking at this leg to be with this leg, and we're gonna have one more down. Just give me 2 minutes, Caesar, and I will check it out and I will explain it more. So I'm expecting one more down on BTC, and this whole move is a correction move. What will I trade this short? I will not trade the short. I'm looking for buys. I'm in a buy from here at break even. If it comes down, hits me, let it be. I'll be looking for a break of this zone and looking for a second buy. Only buys. It's an investment. I'm expecting it to reach 17, above 15k. OG, what's OG, man? Okay, so that's my view on most of the pairs that we cover on YouTube. There's more than 32 pairs that we cover on the 4-hour daily, weekly basis on our website. Please feel free to check them out, and don't forget to join our chat. It's a Telegram chat. It's free for everyone. Me and my admins would love to answer all your questions out there. So what would you like me to look at? First of all is Mr. Caesar. He's looking for the euro, right? Euro. Okay, so you're looking for sells, right, Caesar? Yes, it's great to look for a sell, but you gotta keep in mind, Caesar, that for the price to drop, they gotta collect the liquidity that's up here. So as I suggested on the 4-hour and the DXY, you know, a euro is inverse of the DXY. So I would suggest my own point of view, wait for the price to break this top and then sell it. Let it break, reject, and sell. If the price breaks here, you see this zone? The zone that's right here, if price breaks it and closes underneath here, I would look for a retest and continuation for the downtrend. The price where it is at the time being, I don't suggest you sell. That's my own point of view, it's not an advice. I would wait for it to come up here, then I would sell it as I'm expecting. That's good to hear, Caesar. That's good to hear, man. Anything else would you like me to check, guys? How do you find the price is moving correctively or in an impulse? So that's a very great question. Copy. That's a full course that we give, but I can explain it very simply. You know, a price, the market has a language, so you gotta know how to read the language of the market. Just quick like tip is there's an impulse and there's a correction. Impulse is when price moves strongly towards one point. You see, that's the shape of an impulse, and that's the shape of a correction. So it's more complicated how the market moves, but basically if you learn how to spot the shapes, the corrective shapes and the impulsive shapes, it will be more easier for you to identify the end of every correction. The best trade that you would do in this business and the most successful trade, risk to reward, is identifying the end of every correction, because after every correction 80% of the time you're gonna have an impulse. If not an impulse, at least another correction back to the top here. But the trick is to know how to identify and to expect the correction. Anything else, guys? No, we'll cover it, man. We'll cover it. We'll go over it. Okay, so what do we have here? Michael, I use my fibs from the beginning of a wave to the end of that wave, extended to a possible correction we're looking at. As you can see it stopped right, so that would I indicated as an ABC, if that would answer your question, how I use my fibs. When the price stops around the 100 or the 127 zone, that would be the end of the correction. If it exceeds that, it will turn into, that would be something like this, and one more up. How to identify the end of this one? There's a way that we look for and to identify the difference between the impulse and the correction. Now for this beautiful orange juice that my buddy is trading. So that's an ABC. What are we expecting? A correction is still heading down ladder on the long run. There's a beautiful liquidity down here, but I suggest to watch this area. As long as we're underneath this, I would expect a drop. You said you were long, right? If you are long from this area, move to break even. But as long as we're underneath this structure, we should be selling, because we just did a correction. So if that correction, if the price needs to continue heading up, we must have another correction. There's different shapes for the correction, but this can simply do the following: retest of this area and continue one more drop to complete an A B, and a C, retest of this area down here, then we head back up. Yeah. Oh, I know what you're looking at. You're looking at this one, right? You're looking at this correction with this one. That's why you took your long. This with this, right? You're looking at the following as an A B, and a C. A running type of a correction. Yeah, it's possible. Does it fit the criteria? let it come down, grab that liquidity, then come back up. As long as we're underneath here, as I said, we're still looking for sells. Ethereum, sure. Watch this area to look for buys. I'm looking at something like this. Same thing as this one. Still up here. So what we should expect? A drop. Till this zone. Don't forget the likes, guys. You're more than welcome. Anything else? That's it. All right, guys. Trade safe. Have a beautiful week. And hopefully we can see you in our website and our chat. Take care.